Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We're going to be taking a look at some AI-powered wearables today, so buckle up because we've got Natura Humana's brand new HumanPods to explore.
Yeah, these aren't just your typical earbuds. What we're really talking about is like having an AI assistant living in your ear.
Okay, so that sounds amazing and a little bit scary at the same time, but we're diving in today because these launched today, right?
They did.
So that means we're some of the first to really take a deep dive into this.
Absolutely. Natura Humana is really trying to push the boundaries of AI and integrate it seamlessly into everyday life. Make it more human-centered.
I'm seeing a theme here already, human-centered design.
Yeah.
That seems to be their big thing.
Yeah, it really is. And I think it shows in the features. Like you can pick your AI assistant and they have personalities and specific voices and it learns what you like over
So
time.
it's not just like a robotic voice giving you directions, it's more of a companion almost.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a digital sidekick that can help you out throughout your day. Imagine like you're in a meeting and you need to quickly fact check something. Your human pods can just discreetly find that information for you, and you don't even have to touch your phone.
Wait, so I can just be in a meeting and ask my human pods to lit something up?
Yeah,
Wow.
they can understand complex tasks and requests, beyond just simple commands. They can even act autonomously sometimes because they can take in the context and make decisions.
So they're not just reacting to keywords. They're actually understanding and processing information.
Yeah, they learn and adapt. They get more intuitive and helpful over time.
This is like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's crazy. So, okay, they've got these amazing AI assistants, but what about the actual hardware itself?
That's where the open ear design comes in.
Okay.
So they're designed for all day wear and to be comfortable, but you're also still aware of your surroundings.
Right, so you're not like totally zoned out walking down the street or something.
It's
Okay, so comfortable AI assistants' personalities. This is a lot to take in. Where should we dive in next?
I think it's important to consider the other side of this too. Like, what are some of the potential drawbacks or concerns that come to mind with a device like this?
Honestly, the first thing that pops into my head is privacy. We're talking about something that's listening to everything you say,
Right.
and that feels a little invasive.
That's a valid concern, and Natura Humana is definitely aware of it. They
Yeah.
talk about security and user privacy in their marketing materials, but it's still something that I think we have to think about carefully.
Yeah, because even if they have good intentions, there could be data breaches, there could be misuse, and with a device like this that's so integrated, the stakes feel a lot higher.
Exactly. It's a trade-off, right? The
Excellent.
convenience and all the benefits of this amazing AI assistant versus the potential risks to your privacy.
It makes you wonder, like, what kind of data are these things actually collecting, and what are they using it for?
Yeah, that's the big question that I think consumers need to be aware of before they buy into this technology. We have to demand transparency from companies like Natura Humana about how they're handling our data.
I'm also thinking about like distractions.
Hmm.
We're already constantly bombarded with notifications and information from our phones. Would this just be adding to the noise?
That's a good point. It really depends on how people choose to use it. I mean, Natura Humana is marketing these as a way to reduce screen time,
Okay.
streamline your digital life, free you from the constant notifications.
So instead of being glued to your phone, you're having your little AI assistant sort of filter information for you and only alert you to the important stuff.
Exactly. Like, imagine walking down the street, enjoying your surroundings, but still staying on top of your work and personal life and not having to check your phone constantly.
I mean, that sounds kind of appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't want to reclaim some of their time and attention?
Right.
But it comes down to balance, right? Using technology to enhance our lives, but not becoming overly dependent on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Something we have to be mindful of, not just with these human pods, but with all technology.
Okay, so we talked about some of the risks, the privacy stuff, the potential for distractions. What about the positives? What are some potential benefits that stand out to you?
One of the biggest benefits for me is the level of personalization. Like we
Huh.
were talking about before, these AI assistants, they have different personalities, they adapt to your preferences. That means you can have a tech experience that's actually tailored to you.
Okay, so break that down for me. What does personalization really look like in this case?
Well, think about it this way. Instead of having like a generic one-size-fits-all AI assistant, you can choose one that matches your personality, your style, your sense of humor. It's about having more natural and enjoyable experience with tech.
So it's not just about making it work, it's about making it feel more human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just the initial choice. It learns and adapts to you over time. So the more you use it, the more personalized it gets, the more helpful it becomes.
It's almost like having a personal assistant who gets to know you, anticipates your needs.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And that's one of the most interesting things about this technology. It's not static, it's evolving and adapting to you as a person.
That's pretty cool. It's like having something that's truly unique to you. But that also raises some questions, right? Like if these assistants are becoming so personalized, so integrated into our lives, what does that mean for our relationship with technology? Are we becoming too reliant on these digital companions?
Yeah, that's a big question, and it's one I don't know if we have the answer to yet, but it's definitely worth thinking about. Like, if we're spending all day with an AI in our ear, how does that change how we interact with other people? Does it
Yeah.
make us more connected or less connected?
It's a really interesting question. It's like we're kind of stepping into uncharted territory here where the lines between technology and humanity are getting blurred.
Yeah, I agree. It's exciting and a little bit unsettling.
It is. But I think one thing's for sure is that we're not just watching this happen, we're actively shaping it. And the decisions we make today are going to determine what that future looks like.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the question of how the market's reacting to all of this. Like,
Yeah.
are people actually excited about these human pods?
It's a good question. And I think from what I've seen online, the answer is a big yes. The hype is real. We're seeing trending hashtags everywhere. Tech publications are going crazy over these, and even big names in the tech world are endorsing them.
Yeah, you're right. The buzz is definitely there. And it's not just hype either. Earlier reports are saying pre-orders are through the roof.
Wow.
Natura Humana is apparently having trouble keeping up with the demand.
That's impressive. It seems like they've really tapped into something here.
Yeah, they have. And I think that success is already impacting the tech industry. Other companies are taking notice, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a whole bunch of similar AI-powered wearables hitting the market soon.
So these are kind of like the trailblazers paving the way for a whole new era of wearable technology.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so exciting. We're witnessing a fundamental change in how we interact with technology.
It's like we're on the edge of a new era where AI is just seamlessly part of our lives, improving our abilities and changing the way we work, communicate, and even think.
Exactly. And it's not just about earbuds either. This technology could revolutionize so many industries, from healthcare to education to transportation.
The possibilities really are endless. But with all that potential comes a lot of responsibility. We need to make sure AI is developed and used ethically, responsibly, and for the benefit of everyone.
Couldn't agree more. We need to be talking about these implications. We need to be working together to create a future where AI empowers us, not controls us.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of shiny new tech. But it's important to take a step back, ask the tough questions, consider the downsides along with the benefits.
Absolutely. It's not just up to the companies and the policymakers to decide what this future looks like. It's up to all of us.
Exactly. And speaking of being a part of the conversation, we always love to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on these human pods? Are you excited about AI-powered wearables, or are you concerned about the potential risks?
Yeah, head over to @AI for the people and let us know what you think in the comments. We're all learning together here, and your perspective is valuable.
Okay, so we've explored the features, we talked about the hype, the pros, the cons. What about this open-ear design? I think that deserves a closer look.
Yeah, the open ear design, that's one of the things that really sets these apart from typical earbuds, and it has some interesting implications.
I'm curious to hear your take on this. What are the pros and cons of that open-ear design, especially with a device like this?
Well, one of the biggest advantages is that you can still be aware of your surroundings while you're using your AI assistant. You're not totally isolated from the world, which is important for safety and social interaction.
Right. You don't want to be completely oblivious, especially if you're walking down a busy street or having a conversation with someone.
Exactly. And it also makes for a more natural listening experience. You can still hear the sounds around you, which can be less tiring than having your ears blocked off all the time.
So it's kind of like a hybrid experience. You get the immersive audio, but you're also still present in the real world.
That's a great way to describe it. It's about finding that balance between being connected to your digital world and being present in your physical surroundings.
Okay, so those are some of the pros, but what about the downsides?
Well, there are always trade-offs. One potential downside is that the audio quality might not be as good as traditional earbuds, especially in noisy environments.
Oh, right.
You don't get that same level of noise cancellation.
So if you're trying to listen to music in a crowded place,
Yeah,
you might not be able to hear it as clearly.
exactly. And it also means that other people might be able to hear what you're listening to, which could be a privacy issue or just annoying.
I hadn't thought about that. It's like the flip side of being able to hear your surroundings can also hear you.
Exactly. So it really depends on your needs and your preferences. If you really need top-notch audio quality and privacy, then traditional earbuds might be better. But if you value being aware of your surroundings and a more natural listening experience, then the open-ear design could be a good fit.
It sounds like there's no right answer. It really depends on how you plan to use it.
Absolutely. And that's the great thing about new technology. It gives people choices and lets them decide what works best for their lives.
Okay, we've covered a lot in this deep dive. We looked at the features of the HumanPods. We talked about the privacy concerns, the potential impact on our relationship with tech, and even the pros and cons of that open-ear design.
Yeah, but there's one more thing I think we should discuss. The market response and the bigger implications for the tech industry.
Right, we can't forget about the business side of things.
Yeah.
How are these HumanPods being received by the market?
Well, like we mentioned earlier, the initial response has been really positive. There's a ton of excitement around this product.
We talked about the trending hashtags, the endorsements from tech leaders, but what about the actual sales? Are people buying these things?
It's still early, but it looks like pre-orders are exceeding expectations. Natura Humana is having a hard time keeping up with the demand.
Wow, that's impressive. It sounds like they've really struck a nerve with consumers.
They have, and I think that success is sending a message to the rest of the tech industry. Other companies are watching this closely, and they're probably working on their own versions of AI-powered wearables right now.
So this could spark a whole wave of innovation in this area. It's like the human pods have opened up a whole new frontier in wearable technology.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so interesting. We're seeing a shift in how we use technology.
It's like we're at the beginning of a new era where AI is just seamlessly integrated into our lives, making us more capable and changing how we work, communicate, even how we think.
And it's not just about earbuds. This technology has the potential to change so many different industries, everything from healthcare and education to transportation.
The possibilities are really endless. With all that potential comes a lot of responsibility. We need to make sure AI is being developed and used ethically and responsibly in a way that benefits everyone.
Absolutely. We need to be having these conversations. We need to be working together to make sure AI empowers us, not controls us.
Okay, folks, we're almost at the end of our deep dive, but before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a final thought.
We've been talking about how these human pods could impact individuals and society, but there's one question we haven't really touched on yet.
And that is,
What does this mean for the future of work?
right, the big question on everyone's minds. Will AI take our jobs? Will it create new jobs? Will it change the way we work entirely?
We need to be thinking about all of that, and there aren't any easy answers.
I think it's safe to say that the workplace of the future is going to look very different from the one we know today.
For sure, AI is already starting to automate tasks, streamline things, and change the skills that are in demand. As these AI-powered wearables get more advanced, that's only going to accelerate.
So what does that mean for you, the listener? How can you prepare for this future of work in the age of AI?
That's a great question, and one that I think we'll be exploring more in future episodes.
But for now, we encourage you to start thinking about these things. What skills will be important in the future? How can you learn and adapt to stay ahead of the curve?
And maybe the most important question of all is how can we make sure that the benefits of AI are shared by everyone and that everyone has a chance to succeed in this new world of work?
These are big questions, and there are no easy answers. But by talking about these things, by thinking critically, by working together, we can create a future where AI benefits us all.
Well said. So stay tuned for more deep dives into AI and the future of work.
And don't forget to follow @AI for the People for more insights and updates on this rapidly changing field.
We're all on this journey together, and we're excited to have you with us.
So we've been talking about these human pods from Natura Humana, and these AI-powered earbuds are really making waves.
Yeah, and I think one of the most fascinating aspects beyond the tech itself is this idea of AI personas.
Yeah.
It's a really smart way to address some of the anxieties people have around AI.
It's true. I think a lot of people still picture AI as cold and robotic, but giving users this choice, a voice, a personality for their assistant, makes it so much more approachable.
Yeah,
It's like having a friend in your ear.
exactly. And that choice, I think, is really important. Imagine being able to choose an assistant based on what you need that day. You know, if you need to be productive, you pick the energetic one, the task-oriented persona. If you're trying to relax after work, maybe you go with a calmer, more conversational AI.
So it's not just about personality, it's about function too.
Oh, absolutely. And the really amazing part is that it's constantly learning. The AI adapts to your habits over time, so it gets even more helpful and intuitive. Imagine a world where your tech knows what you need before you even ask for it.
Okay, now that is both exciting and a little bit creepy. It makes you wonder, where's the line between helpful and just relying on AI too much? Like, are we going to lose some of our own initiative if we have AI constantly anticipating our every move?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something I think we need to be very aware of. As these AI assistants become more integrated into our lives, we have to make sure we're not just passively being guided by them, but that we're still actively engaging with the world.
It's all about finding that balance,
Right.
right? Embracing the potential of this technology, but not losing our own ability to think critically and make decisions.
Exactly. And this is something that goes way beyond just human pods. This is about the future of AI as a whole. How do we make sure that AI helps us instead of replacing us?
It's a responsibility that falls on all of us, developers, users, policymakers. We need to be having these conversations now and shaping AI in a way that reflects our values.
Speaking of values, let's go back to one of the big concerns we talked about earlier, data privacy. It's great that Natura Humana is emphasizing security, but these devices are still collecting a lot of personal information.
It's kind of the elephant in the room, isn't it? When you're inviting this technology into such a personal space, literally your ears, the potential for misuse is definitely there.
Right, and that's where informed consent becomes so important. As consumers, we need to demand transparency from companies like Natura Humana. What data are they collecting? How are they using it? What are they doing to protect our privacy?
It's not about being anti-technology. It's about being informed and having control over how our data is being used.
Exactly. And this goes beyond just individual privacy, too. Think about the bigger picture. If these AI assistants are always listening and gathering data about our behaviors, that information could be used to influence our decisions, even manipulate our beliefs.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
It really highlights the need for ethical guidelines and regulations to make sure AI is being developed and used responsibly.
And that's where organizations like at AI for the People are doing such important work. They're advocating for responsible AI development and helping people understand this complex landscape.
Yeah, it's a great resource for anyone who wants to stay informed and be part of these conversations. So listeners, head over to @AI for the People and join the discussion.
This is a journey we're all on together. The future of AI is being shaped right now, and by talking about it, by asking tough questions, by demanding transparency, we can make sure it's a future that benefits everyone.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the exciting potential of human pods to the potential risks and ethical challenges of AI as a whole.
We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What are your hopes and concerns?
Head over to @AI for the People and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with anyone who might be interested in the future of AI.
Because this is a conversation that affects us all.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring.